going to really quickly show you how to make these little wire stacking bracelets. With the project we've made 3 of them to wear together just to fill it out a little bit more. So I've got silver plated wire. This is 1.5mm wire, so this is relatively thick. So you can bend it with your fingers, but if you want little loops and things you really do need the pliers for it. I've got some 10mm beads here. I've got a mixture of some glass pearls and some pressed round glass. And some head pins, that's the pins with the flat ends on them, again in the silver plate. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop one of the beads onto the head pin. As I say, this is a 10mm bead, but obviously you could do it with different sizes if you like. Now I want to do what we call a little wrapped loop on this to make it nice and secure. So I've got the round nose pliers. I'm going to grip that head pin about a centimetre above the bead. I'm going to then bring the rest of the head pin around one part of the round nose pliers, and I'm going to wrap it around this little upright bit we left here. Now just to make it easier, I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to grip onto this to wrap it. I just find it a bit easier than holding it with your fingers. I just find you can make it a little bit tighter and neater. So I'm just going to wrap that around this head pin until it gets down to the bead. And then I'm just going to cut that excess off. But you can see with that wrap loop, it's nice and secure. There's no way that loop's going to come undone or fall off. Particularly in a bracelet where obviously if they can get bashed a little bit and things like that, then the wrapped loop is quite useful. So cut the end off. I'm just going to squash in that end so I haven't got any scratchy bits on it. Okay. Pop that down. And now I'm going to come to my wire. So as I say, this is 1.5mm wire. I'm going to use my round nose pliers just to make a little loop in the end, just big enough that we can hook the other side through it. Just a small loop like that. Thread my bead on, and then I'm just going to make another loop at the other side to close it up. Now if you see, that loop goes this way, so I'm going to make this loop go in the other direction, kind of right angles to it, because it will just hook through that bit more easily then. So I'll start my loop, hook it through, and then close it round. Oops, holding it. Just using the roundness of the pliers to make those loops. And then just to give it a little bit more definition, again using the round nose pliers, I'm just going to grip it at intervals and just give it a slight bend. Just you get a slightly more of a sort of hexagonal type shape to it. And again, I'm just doing this by sight, just sort of part way round. You can, if you want, measure it to make them all the same. I tend to just do it by sight. So kind of 5 or 6 of those dotted around, just to give it that slightly different shape. And as you can see, 2 there that I've already done. So if you put the 3 together, it's quite a nice little stacking bracelets there.